Good morning, Dreamhouse Nation. James Lewis of TDH. Joining us from Fozzy Football is Steve Braun. But before we get to Steve, we're going to give out our email address because our listeners know when we give out our email address, we give out prizes. And our email address is dreamhousenation@gmail.com. That's dreamhousenation@gmail.com. Write in and win some prizes. Steve, thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Glad to be here, James. Thanks.
Welcome. We've enjoyed having you on before, and a lot of our listeners already know about Fozzy Football. But for those that don't, tell us a little bit about Fozzy Football.
Yeah, sure. So Fozzy Football is a tabletop game of American rules football that you play shuffleboard style. The game comes with a game puck that serves as basically a target that you use to slide and hit outcomes that are positive that correspond with a game of football. So you're sliding a puck, trying to get a 4-yard gain, a 10-yard gain. There's definitely areas that you want to avoid that result in penalties, interceptions, fumbles, turnovers, things like that. So through sliding the puck, it replicates a game of American rules football. And you're basically engaging in a full, game of NFL or NCAA football on a shuffleboard surface.
That is awesome. So how did it all get started?
So, rolling back the clock, I was a fan of paper football when I was a kid, and I was with a colleague. We were traveling on business, and he wanted to play paper football. He had never played the way that I had played growing up, which is you slide the paper football, and if it's hanging off the edge, you get a touchdown. Then you get to kick your extra point. So I showed him that way, and believe it or not, we played for a couple minutes. I was falling asleep that evening and literally sat up in bed with a dream. And I said, as I was, waking out of this dream, I can make paper football better. And so that resulted in a long journey of coming up with prototypes of creating targets that, instead of just sliding the paper football and trying to get a hanger at the back edge of the table, now you could get, gains, basically positive yardage in a game of football. And so, that led from one thing to another prototype. And before you know it, I had something that was a working prototype that actually, could sell and people enjoyed. From that point, I went and developed a mobile app, which is very unique about the product. This is the only product that I'm aware of in existence that tightly ties a mobile app that you can download from Apple or the Google Play Store. And it runs on your phone and manages all aspects of the game while you're playing on a physical game surface. So those two things are tied tightly together, and it actually makes for a very unique game experience.
Nice. So the best thing about this game, I think, is the fact that you don't have to worry about going blind.
Yeah, you're not going to receive a paper football to the corner of the eye, that's for sure. It would be really, really difficult to flick the metal puck, and those things are pretty weighty.
So where is the best place for the Dreamhouse Nation to buy a copy of Fozzy Football?
Well, right now we are selling direct to consumer on our website, and the easiest thing to remember is just www.fozzyfootball.com. Fozzy is like Ozzy, so with an F, F-O-Z-Z-Y, and then football.com. So you can get them on our website. And in addition to our website, they're selling on walmart.com right now. And I'm working on getting them listed on Amazon. Hopefully that's coming soon. And then we do have NCAA licenses for a number of schools. In the Cincinnati area, we have the Bearcats. And we also have Kent State. And I'm really hoping, I was at a trade show this last week, I'm really hoping that I can add Ohio State to that lineup. I had some nice talks with them. They really enjoyed the game. So we'll see where that goes from a licensing perspective.
Nice.
But if that happens, then they'll be available on fanatics.com, which is the number one fan site for NCAA licensed products. And I'm working on that right now, actually. So hopefully in the next few weeks, we'll be on Fanatics.
So it sounds like there's a lot of big things going on with Fozzy Football.
Yeah, there's, I just got started, about 2.5 years into this journey and bootstrapping the entire effort. So right now I'm a one-man show, but growing quickly and looking for opportunities to, continue the journey.
Nice. And then with the game, I understand there are several different size options. I'm not sure if they're all currently available, but I understand that there are variations in different sizes.
Yeah, and they all are currently available all through our website. There are 3 tabletop sizes, starting with a small mat that's about 13 inches by 26, and that's, for kids or, for coffee tables, something like that. There's one size larger than that is 19 by 36, and that's something that you might want to take out to like a tailgate, or, you can put it on a kitchen table. The size next up from that is made specifically for a 6-foot table. And that's definitely a tailgate one, or if you want to lay it over the entire kitchen table or put it on your dining table, you can do that. And then there's 3 mats that are sized specifically for pool table conversions. So most of the standard sizes for pool tables are 7 foot, 8 foot, and 9 foot. And the mats fit just inside of the rails of each one of those. So you can basically convert an underutilized or dusty pool table into a fun game of Fozzy football and revitalize it and get some use out of it. That
is awesome. Yeah. Cause unfortunately I know a lot of folks that, they have that pool table, and when they first got it, they were in love with it, but now, now it just takes up dust, and it just sounds like a great option to be able to incorporate a game they love, football and Fozzy football, into their, billiard table.
Yeah. Most of them wind up to be places that just are storage or clothes hangers, but yeah. For temporary, because the mat just rolls out and lays over the top of the pool table, and when you're done, you just roll it back up. It doesn't take much room. It's super lightweight. You can take it off, and if you want to play pool again, you can do that as well.
So I understand the goal is to eventually crack the top bar games list.
Yeah, bar games would be super cool. So I started this with the vision that this was going to be a bar game, very similar to like a pool table or an air hockey table. When I went down that road to find out about actually getting that produced, I was told that the minimum order quantity was 200 units and that each unit was going to cost me a few grand. So I didn't have $500,000 to get started. So that, again, like I said, I'm bootstrapping this thing and I'm an individual entrepreneur. So that caused me to pivot and look at doing the tabletop mats instead. And so that's got some traction, and that's where I'm starting. And as I, earn money from the sales of the product, it's all being reinvested into the company. And the eventual vision is to get back to that bar game. So you may stumble into a bar in the future and see a Fozzy football table.
Nice.
That would be, that's the goal.
And then I understand you have patents that because the game is so creative and so innovative.
There are 3 patents on the game just to protect the intellectual property and, discourage others from trying to copy the game. And they cover the design of the game, the utility of the gameplay, and then I have a specific patent also on the puck that has a crosshair in the center, which is very unique. And so first time that's ever been done as well. So other companies, if they're going to do a game puck or like the format for this game, basically there's a patent that protects that puck that has a center crosshair.
Nice. And then what are some of the rules? I know you touched on it, but could you highlight a couple more?
Well, sure. Yeah. The game plays exactly like a game of football. So you get 4 downs and, opportunity to advance 10 yards. If you do that, then you get another set of downs and you keep moving towards the end zone. The nice thing about the game is there is a very difficult to hit touchdown target, which doesn't happen very often. But when you do, you can score from anywhere on the field. It doesn't matter where your line of scrimmage is. So if you're at the 25, or if you're at the other side of the field on the 40, you can always strike in just one throw. And that really adds an element of, the game's never out of reach, right? So that's very, very similar to a real game of football. You can basically score on any play, and that's incorporated in the game. But then in addition to that, you have, punts and field goals, you have safeties, you have your penalties and your turnovers, your interceptions and fumbles. Literally anything that can happen in a real game of football can happen on this game surface.
And then, of course, when it comes to games, there's always a need for additional parts and additional pieces. What if our listeners misplace a piece or something happens to it? Do you offer replacement options?
Absolutely. So I guess it would be, if you do misplace a puck or lose it, the game also comes with defenders, and defenders make it more difficult for you to actually achieve, targets. So when you're sliding the puck, your opponent can set up a defense, and it makes it more difficult to get your run or pass targets. If you lose any of those, go back onto the store and purchase them. Like I said, I'm just getting started, so a lot of times when people, have reached out to me, and I'll just send those back out to people because, it's for me a happy customer is the number one thing. I also offer silicone spray, and the silicone spray is if you're really serious about your game of Fozzy, it keeps the surface slick, so you can just spray it on a paper towel, wipe down the surface, and it keeps your game surface new and slick, and make sure that your pucks are sliding fast, and that's nice. But that's about it in terms of accessories. Other than that, and the game surface, that's what you're purchasing. The mobile app is free download, so you're not paying for that. And once you're set up, you're off and running. If you lose anything, just revisit the store, and you can get your replacement parts there.
I understand that high schools and semi-pro teams and even pro teams have been reaching out to you and having versions of the game, because I understand you do custom versions of the game. Is that correct that they that you can do custom?
Absolutely. So the custom orders, there's a minimum of 5. So if they want to purchase a custom design, we're getting actually a lot of companies this past Christmas. They were doing them as gifts. So they would want to put their name or logos or branding specific to their company on the game surface, and then give those out as gifts to either their best customers or vendors or what have you. So yeah, that's been cool. We've had a number of high schools also reach out. There's no licensing with high schools, which is also makes it super easy. And they did those for the end of the year senior gifts last year. When teams won championships or things like that, they can brand the game surface with their high school, logos and mascots and things like that. So it looks exactly like their home field. And then that's like a really nice gift for, the football team or alumni or, fans just basically of the team to have as a keepsake to commemorate a special season. And
then, of course, you work with Omni Braun Incorporated. Tell us about them.
So Omni Braun, my name's Steve Braun. Omni Braun is just basically Braun everywhere. So that's the name of the parent company. Fozzy Football is just a product. There's going to be more products. I've got baseball in the pipeline, and baseball is a pretty cool, I have to say, I personally think that baseball is even better than Fozzy Football. And Fozzy Football is great, don't get me wrong. It's an amazing game right now. Literally the only way on a tabletop surface to play a game of football. But the reason why Omni Braun exists is because multiple games will be released under that company umbrella. Fozzy Football being the first, and then it'll be followed up by Busby Baseball. And there's others in the plan, so they're coming.
Well, Steve, before we let you go, where on social media, where on the web, where can we find out more about Fozzy Football?
Sure. So you can basically look up Fozzy Football, again, Fozzy Football, on any of the social media platforms. We're on TikTok. We got an account that's going there, and it's actually doing fairly well. On Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I think that's and Twitter. So that pretty much covers it. So if you look up Fozzy Football, you can't miss us. Please like and follow and join the folks that are staying up to date with us as new products are released, new licenses are released, and there's news or enhancements that are being made all the time to the app as well.
Sounds great. We'll have to have you back on the show to talk up the baseball.
Yeah, that's coming. When it gets released, James, you'll be one of the first to know for sure.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us.
All right. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom has products in stock and available to take home today. With 5 stores and almost 40 years in business, they are Ohio's appliance experts, and they help you to get the right product at the right price with a huge inventory. You can save 30 to 60% every day on everything from Bosch and Viking to LG, GE, and KitchenAid at unbeatable savings and in stock. Plus, Mattress Kingdom inside Appliance Factory has everything from Tempur-Pedic and Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and DreamCloud mattresses in stock. Stop by any one of Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom's 5 Ohio locations today, or visit online at appliancefactory.com.
Good morning, Dreamhouse Nation. James Lewis of TDH joining us today from the PBR is Matt West. Matt, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
We're excited about having you on the show, and we want to focus on your upcoming event in Indianapolis.
Yeah, super excited. You know, we've been in Indianapolis before, and it's always so much fun. But this year, our new season is in full swing. We're bringing in the 45 best bull riders in the world. We're bringing the absolute best bulls in the sport to Indianapolis. So for those fans that have been to one of our events before, this one, I truly believe is going to have the dial turned up a little bit, because what we've seen so far this season has been nothing short of spectacular, and I expect it to just keep getting better and better.
So how do you come up with the top 45?
So what happens is all of these guys will have to earn their way into these spots. We actually have a breakdown of 3 different tiers of competition, and those 3 different tiers consist of a Challenger Tour, a Velocity Tour, and what we'll see in Indianapolis, which is the Major League Tour. No different than like baseball or anything else, where a guy will work his way up through the minor leagues and ultimately get called to the bigs. In this sport, you actually have to earn points and qualify into those positions. And so that's what we're seeing, is those guys that have risen to the occasion and earned their spot into those top 45.
That is awesome. So the way I understand it, that if it's not 8 seconds, it doesn't count?
That's exactly right. You know, a little PBR 101 is the simple version of it. Is they got to have one hand in the bull rope, one hand in the air, and they've got to make it to 8 seconds to actually get a qualified ride and earn a score. And part of that score comes from how difficult and athletic that bull is and the bull's performance, and the other half comes from how in control the cowboy is. So when you put them together for a full 8 seconds, which doesn't sound like a lot of time to some people, but on the back of a 16, 1,800 pound athlete, like a professional bull athlete, it's certainly a long time.
So it definitely takes the best of both worlds. It sounds like it takes the great performance from the athlete and the great performance from the bull, because I understand if the bull doesn't do a certain couple of things, then they don't qualify for points as well.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. You know, we're celebrating our 30th anniversary with PBR, and one of the things we've kind of taken pride in all 30 of those years is the fact that we have the best bull riders in the world. Well, we can't say that without the best bulls. It's like saying you're the best home run hitter in the major leagues. Well, unless you're going against the best pitchers, you can't truly say that. We do that every single week that our bull riders show up. They are going against the best bulls in the sport. And so, yeah, it takes 2 to make a good score. It's no different than anything else. You know, it takes 2 going at it to make this dance work.
And then I understand there are 2 evenings. So the first evening, what's the difference between the first and the second evening?
So it's actually pretty unique in Indianapolis this week, because we have what we call a 15-15 bucking battle, which is something that'll be broadcast on CBS Network television. And it's the top 15 guys in the world, and they will be against the best 15 bulls, including a world champion, bulls like that are top tier bulls. What happens is throughout the course of the season, these guys are rewarded for their performance. So those 15 guys, they get a bonus round to earn bonus points towards a world title. And then right immediately following that, we step into round 1 of the actual weekend's competition. So essentially both days, Saturday night and Sunday night, you'll get to see, you know, world championship caliber athletes on both sides of the equation. Sunday, we bring them back for round 2, and then a championship round where we'll actually crown a champion. So a lot of bull riding packed into a very short weekend of 2 days.
Now, I don't want to ruin the surprise for my listeners, but I think one of my favorite parts about the whole evening was the startup, the intro, how it gets going. You know, how did they come up with something so amazing?
You know what's fun about our sport is at the core of everything we do, it starts with the athletes and the bull riders and the bulls. But we've taken pride over the years in producing a huge show. We're in the entertainment business as well. And just like, pro wrestling or UFC or anything like that, it's a spectacle around what actually happens in the arena. We take pride in putting together what we feel is the best family-friendly product, where you don't have to have a lot of product knowledge and understand the sport to show up and have an incredible time. And we try to throw a party. We really do. And I think it starts from the time you walk in the door. But when we start our show, it is much different than I think a lot of people expect.
Now, of course, like you said, the athletes and the bulls, they play the biggest role in it, but there is a very important support staff that you have. You have the fella on the horse, you have, what is it? There's a clown, and then there's like 3 or 4 other ones, I understand.
So me and my partner, Clint, we get to announce the whole show. We work with a guy named Clint, who is our entertainer. And then there are 3 bullfighters that are just there to protect our bull riders. And then we have a guy on the back of the horse who is there as basically kind of a 4th bullfighter to make sure the animals stay safe, make sure the cowboys stay safe, make sure, we keep things moving in a timely fashion. And so we have not only our production team and the staff that's out there putting their lives on the line to protect these guys. I mean, we've got just an incredible team from start to finish. I think we have the best production crew in all of sports. And, and there's one way to see if I'm right, and that's show up Saturday and Sunday.
Nice. So it sounds like it's going to be a great event. When I was at the Lexington event recently, there wasn't a bad seat in the house. But what I've been really impressed with are a couple seats in particular that you have in the middle of the ring. Tell us about those.
Yeah, so we have a little cage out in the middle of the arena, and actually it's a stage for our entertainer. It's a pit that actually holds one of our television cameras that we get kind of below dirt level to get some really cool shots for television. But there's also a couple of seats that are thrown in there for some special VIPs that can get down dirt level and actually see the show. But to your point, I know you went to Lexington, and that was, kind of our middle of the road production value. That was what we call the Velocity Tour. What you'll see in Indianapolis is that times 100. I mean, we will crank the fire up as hot as it'll go compared to what you've seen in the past. And so, a lot to be excited about.
Awesome. So definitely the Shark Tank tickets look amazing, but I understand where you all are seated, the commentators, there's also like a VIP section there as well. Tell us a little bit about that section.
It's super cool because we have what we call dirt suites. We have elite seats. And, with a lot of these, you get early access into the venue to come in and I'll host a tour and sit and visit with the fans and do a Q&A. Typically some of the bull riders, some of the bull owners, will stop in and just visit, but we kind of give like a little behind the scenes tour, to our elite seats packages that, not everybody else gets to see and be involved in. But those seats you're talking about that are right up there next to us, I mean, you're right in the mix. Those dirt suites is what we call them. We actually have a full on, party kind of surrounding us, the announcers. And it's funny because a couple of weeks ago, I had some people that were up there that needed their phone charged, and so they reach over and they use my phone charger in the middle of the show, and it makes it fun. It's just a unique experience that you don't get any other sports. You're not going to sit on the sidelines and get to visit with NFL players while they're waiting to go back on the field, and so it makes it fun for me and the guys that are hanging out up there, and just a really, really unique experience.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that is one of the things that is great about PBR, that it's, the experience and how it is very fan-friendly and family-friendly.
Yep, absolutely. Like I said, we pride ourselves in being very family-friendly. We feel like we have the most accessible athletes in all of professional sports. And, you don't have to worry about who it is or where they come from. It can be the kids, it can be grandma and grandpa. You can bring everybody to the show and expect to have some fun.
And the athletes, I mean, gosh, the great thing about your athletes is they're world champion athletes. They're from literally around the world. I mean, we have, of course, some from the States, but you have some from some all kinds of great places.
Yeah, we have a huge representation from Brazil. We've got several world champions that come from Brazil. The PBR as a whole, it encompasses the United States, Canada, Mexico, Australia, Brazil. Those are the 5 countries that really make the core of what our industry is. And so you'll see a lot of guys that have left their homes in Brazil to come over here to the U.S. and chase this dream of providing a better life for their families. And so, it makes it really, really interesting when you look at that dynamic, because they've left literally everything they've ever known in their life except this sport to come here and chase a dream. And that's why they're so incredibly talented at what they do, because they pour their heart and their soul and their life into this sport. So
where's the best place to buy tickets?
I would log on to PBR.com. That's probably going to be the easiest way. You can get on there, and you can also, move through the schedule and see what else is going to be coming close to the area. But PBR.com is pretty much your one-stop shop for everything you need to know.
Yeah, I was just scrolling through there, and I noticed, there'll be a tour coming to Dayton, Ohio. That's phenomenal.
Yeah. It's crazy how many events we'll have throughout the entire year and how many opportunities folks will have to see professional bull riders. But Indianapolis, this is the one in the area that is going to be the absolute best of the best. And this tour stands alone from everything else. It's the major leagues. This is the one.
Awesome. So where on social media, where on the web, where can we find out more about PBR? Probably just PBR.com, I'm guessing.
Yeah, PBR.com. You can follow all the social media channels at PBR. It's pretty simple to jump on there and just drop it in the search engine and everything comes up. Or you can just follow me. It's pretty simple, Matt L. West, and I post about PBR stuff all the time. So, but it's easy. You just drop PBR in any search engine. It's going to take you right to it.
That is awesome. It has been a pleasure having you on the show today, Matt.
I appreciate you guys so much. Look forward to seeing everybody this weekend.
Thank you.
You bet.
Appliance Factory in Mattress Kingdom has products in stock and available to take home today. With 5 stores and almost 40 years in business, they are Ohio's appliance experts, and they help you to get the right product at the right price with a huge inventory. You can save 30 to 60% every day on everything from Bosch and Viking to LG, GE, and KitchenAid at unbeatable savings and in stock. Plus, Mattress Kingdom inside Appliance Factory has everything from Tempur-Pedic and Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Dream Cloud mattresses in stock. Stop by any one of Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom's 5 Ohio locations today, or visit online at appliancefactory.com.
Good morning, Dreamhouse Nation. James Lewis of this Dreamhouse. Joining us from A Spice of Life is Lynn Ray. Lynn Ray, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me on. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, we're excited. And then, of course, before we get to the interview, we're going to do our listeners' favorite thing, which is give out our email address. Our email address is dreamhousenation@gmail.com. That's dreamhousenation@gmail.com. And our listeners know to write in because they can win some prizes. They love that when we have fun guests like you that give out prizes. So
awesome.
What is Spice of Life USA?
Yeah, so Spice of Life is a lifestyle brand, and we offer products that make each and every day the best it can be. We're definitely rooted in design in terms of our items that we offer, and things are very much like Zell Miller, designed on purpose with a purpose. We offer direct-to-consumer channel on our website. We also do U.S. wholesale, and a little bit of fun trivia is our parent company is actually Japanese, and we are located in Nagoya, Japan.
Oh, neat. How did it get started? You're part of the company.
Yeah, I am. I am part of the company both on the wholesale side and the direct-to-consumer side. So our parent company, Spice, was actually established in Japan in 1989, and our current president is still our president today, and started in more or less the garden sector of, retail, and then branched into gift and home, and definitely have found our way in terms of gadgets and funky items that you won't find anywhere else, but you'll find them with us.
Oh, definitely. When I saw the website, I was extremely impressed. Like you said, there are some items that you don't see anywhere else. It's very creative.
Mhm.
How do you design the products?
Yeah, our design team predominantly is all still located in Japan, in Nagoya, so south of Tokyo. About an hour and a half on the Shinkansen, otherwise known to y'all as the bullet train. We do have one of our lead designers, Mr. Tanaka, who is my counterpart. He's my boss, but he's also kind of like my work husband, if you will. And he's based here. So he definitely has his pulse on the U.S. market. You know, he and I collaborate in terms of colors, sizing, because those things can get lost in translation a lot of the time. So we have to very much take that into consideration. You know, what'll fit an American hand, foot, you know, house, you know, lifestyle versus what definitely, you know, speaks to the Japanese market. And sometimes it's fun to kind of bring, you know, what works in Japan here because it's something new and interesting, and vice versa. Take what's working over here and take it over there, because it introduces an element of each different culture into the other side of the pond, if you will, the other side of the Pacific.
So where is the best place to buy Spice of Life products?
Yeah, definitely hit up our website. So it's spiceoflifeusa.com. And on there, you'll see all of our gadgets, our home, our kids. And I know today we have some really great items that we're going to talk about, but there is a whole slew of other items at which to look for and get excited about. So just check out that website, spiceoflifeusa.com.
Excellent. So what are currently some of your featured items?
Featured on our website right now are in the tech category, Buddy Beat Light, one of our bestsellers, the W Fan, which is the personal wearable hands-free neck fan. We have a new smaller version of a personal fan called the Pocket Fan, which is definitely hitting strong for spring. Bonfire speaker, good for nights out. Tranquility sound machine, the circular, otherwise known as the solo fan. In terms of gadgets, then in the home, we've got our best-selling spray sprinkler, garden tools, planters. We've got kids things. We've got items for entertaining. Like I said, it's just, there's something for everyone there. And, you know, if you dig around, you'll definitely find something that's cool and unique.
Nice. The one I was most intrigued by is the Buddy Beat Light's main features.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah. So Buddy Beat Light, I actually have one here in my hand right now, it's a hands-free wearable neck light, and it has 6 different LED lights. So you have 2 in the front, and you've got flexible arms. So there's 2 on the bottoms and then 2 that kind of shoot out. And there's actually 2 on the back neck piece. There's 2 modalities for the light. There's a flicker, like a flash, and a steady stream of light. You know, Buddy Beat Light was designed originally a lot with safety in mind. Like if you're walking early, late, you've got, you know, elderly parents, you know, grandparents that like to exercise, you know, when it's not super light outside. Having lights in the front and the back allows for more visibility, not only for them, but it makes them more visible to other walkers, people on bicycles, scooters, cars, and it just is kind of an extra layer of security if you are somebody that maybe commutes by bike, skateboard, scooter, you know, I mean, there's so many different ways that people kind of move from place A to place B. It was really a way to kind of, you know, bring light to that situation, and one that's around your neck, maybe not necessarily on the vehicle itself. Buddy Beat Light also has a wireless Bluetooth speaker component. Most people are going to tether it to their phone, more than likely. But the cool thing about Buddy Beat Light is there's no headphones or earbuds that go inside or over your ears. Oftentimes, if you're out early or late and visibility may not be great, or, you know, you want to listen to a book or your favorite radio station like we are today, and it's all coming through your phone, once you put those headphones on or in your ears, you're less cognizant to kind of your surroundings, right? And if someone, you know, like I have a dog and I've got to be very mindful about other dogs, and I want to know if someone's coming up from behind me, or, you know, be able to know if someone's crossing the street or hear that automobile that may be electric, you know, that is a little bit quieter. And if I've got earbuds or something on or in my ears, I can't necessarily hear that. So as a safety precaution, we've made it so the speakers kind of sit below your ear, and people are probably going, "Ooh, well, isn't everybody around me going to hear what's going on?" And even if you have the volume all the way up, they can maybe hear some residual, you know, noise, if you will, but they're not actually going to hear what's happening, like what song you're necessarily listening to. What's also cool is if it is tethered to your phone and you get a call, you'll hear it. right? And then you just hit there's a button that you use to connect for Bluetooth that you can answer that call. Now, I know we're all getting a lot of spam calls, and sometimes you like to look down at your phone and see who's actually calling, but if you're somebody that's kind of like me that just answers the phone for everybody for the most part, you just hit that button and immediately you're connected to your phone. You can have that conversation. And again, if you're riding a skateboard and or a scooter, and you don't necessarily want to pull your phone out and look down at it for balancing reasons and safety reasons, you just hit that button and boom, you're off to the races. And then to hang up, you just hit that button again. So again, lots of really great functionality that's fun and cool, but it's also when you take a step back and look at it, it's safety. And if the power goes out and you can still, listen, you've got lights, you can get around your house. For me, my husband goes to bed super early and I'm like fumbling around, trying to get to the bathroom to brush my teeth. And, I use Buddy Beat Light all the time for that, keeps my, way lit. And, we named the product after the buddy system. Remember when you were little and they were like, hey, take your buddy with you, if you go to the bathroom or going somewhere to the library, what have you, they were like, take a buddy with you. And so that's where the name actually stems from, because this is going to be something you want to carry with you for safety reasons, for comfort reasons, for, whatever.
Nice. It sounds great. It sounds like one of those things all of our listeners should get. About how fast can we order one?
Sure. If you get on our website today or, in the next few days, it's typically a 2 to 3 day turnaround, if not faster, and we're shipping out of California just to kind of give everybody an idea. Yeah. We ship from East LA.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. So that sounds like a great turnaround on that. And then, of course, we have spring coming up. Any new products coming out for spring?
Oh, for sure. We've got a lot of new recycled glass products that are coming out. I know recycled and sustainability products within, the industry is a very hot topic. We do our best to try and expand in that category every season. So glass, products made with bamboo, baskets made from recycled agricultural plastics, so plastics that typically would go into a landfill for thousands of years. We're finding a way to repurpose them into baskets that can be used in the home or retail spots. Some new colors in the pocket band that are going to be great for wedding season and graduation season. And for kids, we've got some, cool new smile lights that are on a garland that can be used indoors or outdoors. So great for parties and, just for kids that, enjoy being outside.
Awesome. And then, of course, with Valentine's Day coming up, I'm sure you have all kinds of great gift ideas for that as well.
Yeah. Well, when I look at the line, and you think about Valentine's Day and love, and we have gifts for the tech lover, for the plant lover, and, for people that love to entertain, there's a whole slew of new butter boards and charcuterie trays and bamboo cutlery. If you're, again, somebody that loves to hike, Buddy Beat Light, the W fan, things like the Circulaire are perfect for them. If you're somebody who loves to just hang out and chill at home, again, that's where things like the bonfire speaker, the Pillow Talk mobile pillow, which is a really cool, quirky item. If you're on the website and want to check that one out, that's always a fun topic. But there's something for everybody on the site, and it's all price points too. So I think that's what's also great about Spice of Life USA.
Well, I was going to say the good news is my wife's not listening, so I can tell you what I'm thinking about getting for her. I'm thinking about getting her that Tranquility sound machine. I think that would make a great Valentine's Day gift because she has trouble falling asleep, but she loves that like white noise kind of stuff.
And, the Tranquility sound machine is really rad. Rad. I'm an 80s kid. Can you tell? It's very funky and unique in that most sound machines on the market, they come with pre-recorded sound. So you pick the storm, you pick the rainfall, you pick the crackle fire, what have you. The difference between ours and most other sleep aids out there is that you're your own sleep mix DJ. When you look at the item, you'll see that there's 8 different levers on the front of the actual box, if you will. And it literally is like being at a soundboard. You push up the sounds, and there's 8 unique sounds on here that you want. Maybe you want a little fire crackle, but you want some waves of the ocean. Or maybe tonight you're not feeling that. You want to have a thunderstorm because that's the vibration or that's the energy that you're looking for to kind of go to sleep. You literally mix and match to find the sounds, right, that works for you on any given day. And, if you are somebody that's just looking for more of a white noise type situation, there's a cafe, there's some funky farm animals for any listeners out there that have kids and you need them to be quiet. You can turn that one on and say, hey, everyone be quiet until the rooster makes a noise. And then everybody just goes quiet because they're so intense on listening. But again, for people that do have trouble sleeping, it's personalized. And I think that's what's so key, because everybody's sleep habits and sleep patterns are different. You have to find what works for you. And the Tranquility Sound Machine allows you to do that. There's a sleep timer on it for 30, 60, 90 minutes because, maybe you're having a harder time falling asleep and you don't necessarily want it to run all night. If you're in a place where maybe you're listening to a really good book on your phone and you want to listen to that because maybe that will help you go to sleep, it's got a Bluetooth, it's got a wireless Bluetooth functionality to it, so you can connect, again, just like Buddy Beatlights, say, to your phone and then channel that music through the same speaker. My son, who's getting ready to go off to college here relatively soon, he is definitely somebody who likes noises to go to sleep. And I swear it could be the sunniest or the calmest evening and it sounds like there's a thunderstorm going on upstairs, because that's his noise, right? He loves the thunderstorm and he puts the rain in there. And I'm like, okay, buddy, please remember to put the sleep timer on, because it kind of, I'll be like, what's going on? I'll be like, I don't know what's happening. But it's just an all around great product because it is so, you can personalize it so much. And I think that's what really sets it apart from other products out there.
Awesome. Before we let you go, tell us where the best place on social media and the web is to find out more about the Spice of Life.
Sure. So again, if you're hitting us up on the web, it's going to be spiceoflifeusa.com. If you are into the whole Instagram thing, it's spiceoflife_USA is our account there. And I'm the face and everything behind everything. If you want to check out, if any of you guys are retailers out there and want to check that out, we go under a different name. We're Time Concept. Time Concept _Inc. is another fun place to kind of check out new products and see, what's coming out for the future. So
awesome. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, no problem.
Appliance Factory in Mattress Kingdom has products in stock and available to take home today. With 5 stores and almost 40 years in business, they are Ohio's appliance experts, and they help you to get the right product at the right price with a huge inventory. You can save 30 to 60% every day on everything from Bosch and Viking to LG, GE, and KitchenAid at unbeatable savings and in stock. Plus, Mattress Kingdom inside Appliance Factory has everything from Tempur-Pedic and Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and DreamCloud mattresses in stock. Stop by any one of Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom's 5 Ohio locations today, or visit online at appliancefactory.com.
Good morning, Dreamhouse Nation. James Lewis of TDH joining us from Choice Inc. is Jay Thaxter. Jay, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
So what is Choice Inc.?
So we are a full-service custom apparel business, or custom or apparel decoration, so to speak. So we do screen printing, embroidery, and then we also provide banners and digital printed signs here and there as well.
Awesome. So the great thing about your company is you can do a wide variety of things.
Correct. So we do a lot of everything from small businesses with 10 or 15 employees to sports teams to entire sports leagues to bigger businesses, from everything from hats to shirts to some of their signage and truck lettering as well.
Awesome. So just like the Dream House, we love making people's dreams come true. It sounds like you make their ideals come to life.
Hey, we try to. One of my biggest passion projects with us is we're heavily involved in local sports and local little leagues, and that's probably one of my favorite accounts that we have is trying to outfit our local youth to look the part while they're playing the game and building towards their dreams.
So how did it get started? What originally inspired you to create Choice Inc.?
I'm prior military, so when I got out of the military, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur of some sort. I went a couple different routes, but never really found the fulfillment. I'm heavily involved in local little league as a coach, and my kids play, and so I wanted to go some kind of route to help them to have help with the uniforms. And then I had a friend of mine who was already involved in this business on the other side of the country. And initially, he helped me build and mentored me and taught me a lot of the ins and outs of the business. And then we just kind of built from there.
That is awesome. So what services do you offer? You kind of mentioned it, but it's always good to repeat it.
Yeah, of course. So our main business specializes in embroidery and screen printing. So mainly the apparel decoration, so printing on shirts and then obviously embroidery with thread. And then we do branch out a little bit and we do custom digitally printed banners and yard signs. So come the election times or for your local real estate agent, we do a lot of signs and stuff for that. And then our banners are used either a lot of times at sports fields or construction sites or things of that nature. But the main business is screen printing and embroidery.
So the uniforms are customizable?
Yes, absolutely. So we do, with the uniforms, we do a couple different processes. So we do screen printing if they want it, but we also offer dye sublimation for that. Both are totally customizable, both with logos and the actual shirt design. So if they want to, we have a plugin on our website where our sports leagues can go in and play with designs and play with colors and number fonts and letter fonts and everything. And then if they need it, then we can jump in and help with the artistic side of it too and help them customize it and get everything looking the way they want. So whether it's a sports league or a small business, we try to make sure everything's perfect and that they love what they look at before they put the order in and we start printing it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I was going to say, shoot, recently we had some jerseys made by you, and they were phenomenal. They inspired by our, of course, our logo and then our sponsor's logo and the American flag, and it was really great. And then I loved the just how easy the process was. We sent you what we were interested in. We used that website, and then you were able to get that back to us, and they just look phenomenal.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. That's the biggest part of everything. Everything we do in Chair, as far as building the website and building the process, and our process from start to finish is we want two things: is we want the customer to be extremely happy at how easy everything was. Obviously, you and I are both. We've both been consumers at one point, and then as a business owner, I try to look at it from the consumer standpoint, and I want it to be easy, and I want them to love what they have at the end of the product. And whatever we have to do to get to those, to achieve both of those, is what we're going to do.
Nice. And then sublimation. What are the benefits of sublimation?
So sublimation is a process where the ink is set into the fabric, usually with a heat press. But the sublimation process just dyes the fabric rather than with screen printing. Screen printing, we lay the ink on top of the fabric, but with sublimation, it dyes down into the fabric. So it lasts longer. It doesn't have the sometimes if you have a big screen printed logo, you can kind of feel it on the shirt, whereas sublimation, it's dyed into the shirt. You don't feel it. It's not heavier. And the durability. So for our athletes, the durability, we have baseball players or softball players sliding or diving. We don't have to worry about the print coming off, or sometimes I know back when we were younger, you would see, they put vinyl numbers and the numbers would peel off. You never have to worry about that with sublimation.
Awesome. So, Jay, it sounds like it's better all the way around.
Absolutely. I think for athletes, the dye sublimation is definitely the way to go.
So what types of materials do you prefer?
So it depends on the application, just like anything else. But if we're screen printing, we normally suggest a cotton shirt or a 50-50 shirt. Obviously for athletics, we try to go 100% polyester just because polyester does have that moisture wicking property to it. So as an athlete sweats or gets hot, it wicks the moisture and the sweat away from their bodies. So it makes it more comfortable and ultimately cooler. So once the summer months come, when it's June or July and these guys are out there playing, baseball or softball, they're not getting overly hot and the clothes work for them. Now, as far as a work shirt, then we obviously would recommend like a half polyester, half cotton, or a cotton, just because durability. So if you're a plumber or electrician or a construction worker, a polyester shirt may get caught and grab and stretch and rip, whereas a cotton shirt is more durable. So it depends on the application.
Tell us about the favorite jersey that you made.
Like I said earlier, one of the things that we do, we have a very close relationship with our local Little League. So I coach in the Little League, and then we have about 30 teams total, from T-ball up to junior players, which are your 13, 14-year-olds, and that's both softball and baseball. And that's probably one of our favorite, being able to sit down with the president every year and give the kids a fresh look every season, and I mean, when we were kids, we all remember that time when we're waiting for coach to give us our new jersey, and that's an exciting time. So being able to see opening day here and have all these players with smiles on their faces with new hats and new jerseys, that's probably one of our favorite moments for sure.
Nice. What is the best way for the Dreamhouse Nation to contact you to place an order?
So if we want to reach out to us, we are located in Connecticut, where we ship nationwide. The best way to get a hold of us either by phone. Our phone number is 860-554-1500. Or by email, which is choiceincct@gmail.com. And then, of course, we do have our website, which is www.choiceinct.com.
Yeah, how are you able to make the entire process so smooth and so easy?
We've just put obviously it's trial and error. So when we first started out and we were just a small shop in the basement of my house, it was a little rough, but I put a lot of work into streamlining it and getting feedback from the customers on what they liked, what they didn't like, and trying to make both the design process, the ordering process, and the delivery process as smooth as possible for everybody. So it's a lot of adjusting over time, but we try to make everything as smooth as we can. So we've done a lot of adjusting over time, just based on customer feedback. We have to keep the customers happy, so we use their feedback to structure our processes.
You mentioned about the sublimation. What about embroidery? When's the best time to use that?
I would say so. Embroidery for us is a lot of times it's on thicker garments or hats. So we do a lot of hats, both for small businesses and sports. So hats are a big application, and then stuff that you need more of a durable, so jackets and sweatshirts and stuff like that. We do a lot of that, but then you can also embroider embroidery has a lot of applications. So I'm sure we've seen bags, and we've seen hats and golf bags and backpacks and things of that nature. The biggest one for our shop right now, numbers-wise, is hats. We do a lot of hats. And like I said, that's for small businesses, for organizations, just because they're easy to hand out. So we do a lot of hats. So our biggest application for embroidery is jackets and hats. And
then tell us about a satisfied customer.
So we have small businesses. So we are heavily ingrained in our community. So we try to. So we work with the Chamber of Commerce and the local town. But we also have customers all over the country. One of our most satisfied customers that has stayed with us, has been with us since the beginning, is a tree company out west in Utah, and we've done their stuff. Every month we do an order for them, and they have passed us along to the biggest, and I'm sure as a radio station you guys have the same thing, but word of mouth and people talking about us is the biggest success that we can have. So our advertising and marketing and all that is great, but if we can get customers to sell us, that's the biggest thing. So having this company in Utah and there's another company in Texas that we work closely with is our biggest testament, is the amount that they try to push people our way.
That is awesome. Yeah, I was going to say, I know what you mean about word of mouth. My sponsor, Appliance Factory Mattress Kingdom, they're always getting such great reviews on Google. It's like word of mouth, and it really means a lot when someone's willing to say, hey, this is a quality company. It really gives you that endorsement and makes you want to work with them.
Absolutely, 100%. Google reviews and social media reviews mean the world. And more than anything that any marketing dollars can buy, word of mouth is, especially in today's day and age where social media is such a king. That's the best thing we can hope for is people to show us the products on social media and shout us out and give us that check mark of approval.
Awesome. Well, Jay, our listeners are going to want to know more about Choice Inc. So where on social media, where on the web, where can they learn more? Our
social media handle is across both Instagram, Facebook, TikTok is all the same. It's Choice Inc. CT, so it's at Choice Inc. CT. And like I said, we have our website, www.choiceincct.com. And they can reach out to us on any of those platforms. If they want to shoot us a message, they can, or they can email us, or they can send us a message on our website. And I make it a key to be as responsive as possible. So if you email us, you're not going to have to wait 2 days for a response. We'll get back to you within the hour normally.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us today.
Well, I really appreciate it.
Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom has products in stock and available to take home today. With 5 stores and almost 40 years in business, they are Ohio's appliance experts, and they help you to get the right product at the right price with a huge inventory. You can save 30 to 60% every day on everything from Bosch and Viking to LG, GE, and KitchenAid at unbeatable savings and in stock. Plus, Mattress Kingdom inside Appliance Factory has everything from Tempur-Pedic and Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Dream Cloud mattresses in stock. Stop by any one of Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom's 5 Ohio locations today, or visit online at appliancefactory.com.
Good morning, Dreamhouse Nation. James Lewis of TDH joining us today from My First Brain Quest is Karen Edwards. Karen, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Good morning, all.
So what is Brain Quest?
Well, Brain Quest is number one. It's America's number one educational bestseller. What we do is create products that support children in their educational journeys from pre-K through grade 6. We started 30 years ago with question and answer cards that focused on the subjects children learned in school. These cards were fun and innovative. Children were able to play solo or play with their friends or stump their parents. Parents loved them because they were grade aligned and supported classroom learning, and kids loved them because they were a game as far as they were concerned. In 2008, BrainQuest expanded beyond the cards into workbooks from pre-K through grade 6. And these workbooks supported a full year of curriculum, and they were aligned to state and national standards. They were fun. They were educationally sound. They had stickers and a poster. And again, they underscored to children that learning could be fun. And then fast forward to today, BrainQuest is celebrating its 30th anniversary, and to mark that occasion, we're introducing our first set of board books, and these are for preschoolers or early learners from ages 0 through 4.
So BrainQuest is America's best-selling educational brand because they're fun and educational. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say. They're fun, they're educational, they are vetted by experts, by teachers, by educators, by early learning experts as well. And we've had 30 years of experience in meeting the needs of our children.
So what are some of the things that are covered with My First Brain Quest?
Sure. My First Brain Quest is a series of 6 board books that create a great first library for children. There are 2 first words books, First Words Around the Home, which takes children on a journey in and around their home, pointing out and labeling different objects and talking about the things they see, what things they do, what happens in a certain room. First Word Science Around Us teaches children about science, but it brings science down to their level. It tells them about the science as it works in their environment. So kids learn about science in the doctor's office, science in the playground or in the kitchen, science on the street through sounds, science at the beach, just different environments, and showing children how things move, how things work. Following the 2 First Words books, we have 4 skills books. And these skills books introduce foundational skills to children. These are ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, shapes, and colors. These books introduce babies and toddlers to the things that they need to know in order to set the foundation for a successful educational career, while promoting language development and encouraging learning through conversation.
So in other words, the pre-math, the pre-reading, that kind of thing?
Absolutely, yes, in a fun, engaging way, through highly illustrated, easy text to understand, and supportive content for the parents.
Why is it important to establish learning as an activity of joy?
We spend so much of our lives learning. We spend so much of our time in the classroom that it's easy to kind of put learning into, a box. But learning happens all around us, and learning can be joyful. And I think the earlier we introduce children to the fact that they're always learning, that we're always learners, and that learning is fun, I think the more successful they will be in the classroom. So that starts from the minute a child is read to, the minute they learn that a book can be fun, a book can be engaging, it can be funny, it can be different each time you read it. And that's what our First Words board books do. They engage the children at their different levels of comprehension, and allow them to find something new or valuable in that same book each time they have it read to them.
Does My First Brain Quest incorporate STEAM?
STEAM, yes, absolutely. In the most obvious way with Science Around Us, where we talk about science, technology, engineering and math. We talk about how things move, the physics of how things move. We talk about the science in food and science in how our bodies work and what kind of tools a doctor uses when a child goes for a checkup. And all of this is done at the most basic level in a way that a child can understand. For the other skills books, we talk about art, or we introduce art, we introduce learning through, the English language and through the colors and the numbers and the shapes, and asking children to count, asking children to identify certain things and to talk about, what they see on the page and apply what they see into their lives.
How does it feel to have more than 56 million copies in print?
It feels fantastic. It feels great to know that we've connected with so many learners, and that it just gives us the motivation to connect with even more people and to find out how else we can address the needs of the child and of their parent.
What is the Big Fat Notebook?
Big Fat Notebook is that program is a series of notebooks for children in ages 6 through high school. And what it is it's a condensed version of what a child will learn in the 5 major subjects. So, for example, for math, it addresses the key points that children need to learn in order to be successful in their math class in grades 6 through 8 and later in high school. It's written in a way that is highly accessible. It's written as though it were notes taken by the smartest child in school. So it's highly illustrated. It's filled with charts. It's filled with doodles, mnemonics, the things that help children retain the information that they need in order to successfully complete their course. And it covers, we have one for math, one for science, computer science and coding, U.S. history, world history, all of those core subjects that kids will encounter in their classroom.
Wow, it sounds amazing. So it sounds like there's a lot of really great things BrainQuest is doing to help educate the youth of America.
Yes, and our My First BrainQuest board books extends that learning to children before they actually officially start school. So it sets that foundation for them so that they can have a successful school career once they enter pre-K or kindergarten.
Nice. So, Karen, where on social media, where on the web, where is the best place to find more about My First BrainQuest?
Well, you can go to brainquest.com to find all things BrainQuest. You can find us on Instagram, on Facebook, and TikTok.
Awesome. Well, it has been a pleasure having you on the show today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure talking about BrainQuest. Have a wonderful day.
Appliance Factory in Mattress Kingdom has products in stock and available to take home today. With 5 stores and almost 40 years in business, they are Ohio's appliance experts, and they help you to get the right product at the right price with a huge inventory. You can save 30 to 60% every day on everything from Bosch and Viking to LG, GE, and KitchenAid at unbeatable savings and in stock. Plus, Mattress Kingdom inside Appliance Factory has everything from Tempur-Pedic and Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and DreamCloud mattresses in stock. Stop by any one of Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom's 5 Ohio locations today or visit online at appliancefactory.com.
Thank you for tuning in to this Dream House, brought to you by Appliance Factory and Mattress Kingdom. We look forward to seeing you again next week.